Empowerment Through Knowledge and Sarina Stone present the Tequila Drinker's Guide to Health and Wellness radio show with your host, medical Qigong author, practitioner, and educator, Sarina Stone, featuring the director of the Universal Healing Tao Medical Qigong System, Master Mantak Chia.
Welcome back to the show. We are here in beautiful Tao Garden. This is the home of Grandmaster Mantak Chia, the director and, of course, master instructor for the Universal Healing Tao System. Today we have a really fascinating subject. I said, so Master Chia, is there such a thing as Tao Magic? Because we did a little polling on Facebook and somebody said, well, I'd like to hear Master Chia talk about Tao Magic. And when I said, is there such a thing? Master Chia said, oh yeah. So we're going to talk about that today. Hi, Master Chia.
Hi.
Thanks for joining your own show again.
The Tao Magic, actually, we have to be looking to the back history. So the Taoist practice actually origin from between the China, Mongolia, China, and Russia. Okay, so we call the
Russia.
Yeah, because it's the between.
Oh, of course.
In the between. So that is called. So all people know them as a shamanism. Okay, so earlier Taoist actually is a lot of shamanism out from there. Okay.
I thought shamanism was South America.
No, South America is from China and Mongolia, pass to the Russian and go toward to the Alaska and come to America. So all the Red Indian shamanism are very similar with all the Tao practice. Exactly the animal, the element, everything the same. Okay. Very similar. Okay. Now the whole key is this: nowadays people watch too much movie. So when they see a magic, oh my God, they call the wind, call the lightning, a dragon, and all these things, and they think that is the magic. Okay, but in the real actually magic is very simple. Okay, the whole key is that the force and the power, and you believe it, and you have it, and you have that kind of confidence and energy inside you. So in the Tao we said, okay, there are forces in the universe, and the Tao divide them into 8 forces. We call Pakwa. Okay, so Pakwa is a magic square. It's a magic power. So we call 8 forces. So we call Kan, Li, Zhen, Tui, Kun, Ken, Sun, Chen. Now Kan, we call the Kan below, we call the power by the power of water. Li, we call the fire, so we call by power of the fire. And in the right hand side, or we call the east, we call by the power of lightning and thunder. And on the west hand side, we call by the power is the metal power and the rain and lake. Okay, there's the metal power. And upper right, upper left, we call the by the power of the earth power. And the lower right, we call by the power of the mountain. And upper right, we call the by the power of the wind. And lower left by the power of the universe forces. Okay, so that is the 8 forces. Yeah. Okay, and this is what the Tao, all the Tao magic is very complicated, one of the most complicated in the world. They have so many hundred and thousands of magic symbol and chanting and spelling everything. Okay, and throughout the years, okay, and now when a lot of cultural changes, especially when it come up to the when you come up to changing dynasty and changing the emperor and everything, and finally been suppressed a lot when in the Qing dynasty and in the communists, they totally banned them all. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he banned them a lot.
Who are
Okay.
they?
That mean the communists.
And they didn't want us to know the magic.
Yeah, because they think that. But actually, when they say magic, sometimes they exaggerate too much in a way. So now in the Tao magic, this is very simple. When you can change the hate into love, when you change a sadness, depression into joy and happiness, that is the beginning of the magic. Okay?
Yeah.
So we say you change. So in the Tao set, we call change the rock into gold. Okay. So there are stories that people heard about the Tao master can change the rock into gold. So the guy wanted to show that he's very sincere. He take all the rock in his house in a big heavy bag, carry on the back, and walk up to the mountain and mountain to see the Tao master. And it's so painful and so exhausted. And he think that the master will be sympathize him. So he put all the rock there. Said, Master, I'm very sincere. I bring all the rock in my house to be put it in front of you. And can you teach me how to change this rock into gold? The Tao master said, yes, I can do it. I can teach you also. But I can tell you one thing. All this rock I change to gold, it will be heavier. Okay? And that's good, huh? But when you carry home, and eventually they turn to rock again. Okay, yes. So now, but I can teach you to really change the rock around your house and all around the village into gold. He said, oh my God, that is wonderful. I said, you really want to learn that? He said, yes. So they teach him the inner mind and the secret himself. So now when he started to change the inside, all the negative emotion of the rock, and to love, joy, happiness, that is gold. Okay? So when now finally after he learned for a while, he understand that, oh, this is incredible gold. So when he go home, he started to change the family relationship, everybody love other, and the relative and the neighbor. Now the whole village all change into gold. So that is the first step of the practice. Okay? So that is so now the first magic is you have to change your all we call negative emotional, very stubbornness, very hatred, very jealousy. That is garbage. That is rock. And that is heavy. And that is, so now we divide into all these 5 elements in the body first. And now when you can change this body energy, you started to change emotional. And now you started to change. You see that people have to go to psychology, have to study. And all they try to do is try to talk to people. They're so angry, frustration, hold a bomb. If you can really talk to the guy and he change his mind, he put down the gun, put down the bomb, that is more than gold.
That is.
Yeah. So that's why in the Tao said, change the rock into gold. Okay? But you have to change it from inside you first.
You know what, Master Chia? I think we're going to have a shorter little show today because I just don't know what else to add to that. Listeners, this is real gold. This is real alchemy. You can be surrounded by beauty, but if you can't see it, if you can't feel it, if you don't have love and openness and joy inside of you, there's nothing outside of you that's going to bring magic or joy. So I think we're going to keep
So that's why the Tao said that when a person has good, very good virtue and so much from inside showing out, they call a pure 100% gold. So what we call? Like the sterling, we have a pure sterling,
yes,
silver. This is a pure gold. So a lot of time, so in the Tao always say this is when people have so much good virtue, good joy and happiness, and good virtue, kindness, and kindness and generosity. They are a pure 100% gold. So gold we divide into so many different. Okay?
Yes.
So sometimes we use the gold to be mixing with other things, mixing with the lead, mixing with the copper, mixing with everything. Now the gold is not pure. Okay.
Right.
So once you get a good, real virtue, you have a very highly gold.
Well, I think what I want to do is I'd like to have our listeners come back in a couple of weeks. Now that we understand this concept, there is a practice that you teach. I teach it too.
The fusion.
Fusion of the
fusion
five elements.
That is beginning of transforming the negative energy and how to take in more different energy in the nature and in the universe. And that is the magic. This is the real magic in olden time.
I agree. Yeah. And you know, I've been doing fusion for years and it's still my favorite practice. So listeners, we're going to have a short little show today, and I want to invite you to come back in a couple of weeks. And Grandmaster Mantak Chia is going to talk about some real inner alchemy here, really turning the rock into gold, turning that negative emotion into something positive so you can feel and see beauty and joy around you. Master Chia, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I am really excited for our next show. Come on back in a couple weeks, you guys.
Thank you for joining us on another Empowerment Through Knowledge adventure. Want to learn more? Find Master Chia at mantakchia.com. That's mantakchia.com. Find more medical Qigong lessons, books, and information about studying directly with Sarina at sarinastone.com. SarinAStone.com. Thanks for listening. If you like what you learned, subscribe today.